Last year, when the Allegheny Conference and the Energy Alliance of Greater Pittsburgh released their analysis of workforce needs across our region's energy industries, they identified 14 high-demand, hard-to-fill occupations. Most of them require training beyond high school, but not necessarily a four-year college degree. And welders, so we're one of the 14. Now, Pittsburgh Technical Institute is stepping up, working with industry to create a program to train welders, and even investing in a new building to house the program and much, much more. Greg DeFeo is president of PTI, back with us. So is Jeff Belsky, vice president of strategic initiatives. And welcome. Good to see both of you again.
Great to see you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
So this is a big year for PTI, big investment for all of you.
Sure, it really is. We have a lot going on, and welding has been kind of on our plate the last couple of years. As you said, we've analyzed the workforce needs in the region and look at the reports coming out, but we also spend a lot of time talking to industry and meeting with companies to see what their needs are. And as you look at it with welding the past few years, we've seen with the oil and gas industry moving in the region, adding jobs, they have a tremendous need for welders. On top of that, when you look at the typical demographic of your welder, they're 40s, 50s, and 60s, so there's going to be a big retirement group of welders retiring in the next few years. And industry's told us we need skilled welders, wow. And that's what we're doing.
So it's not just new jobs being created, they're happening, but it's also the baby boomer retirement out there that's staring at everybody right now. What is it about welding? Why isn't there more of a pipeline? Did you get a feel for it?
You know, we think from our research it's been probably 20 years that the young workforce just has not been attracted to it or driven to it. A lot has moved to technology, but there's welding needs in the technology area as well as construction and vehicles and roads and bridges and again the oil and gas industry. So it just hasn't been an area that we think the youth has looked at, but that's changing, and we're seeing incredible demand. As a matter of fact, we just opened up classes for registration for the fall a few weeks ago. Have one class full and are working on a second, and that'll be kind of it for our first year. Wow,
well that's going to be great news for the employers who need that pipeline. So how's the new program going to work? What's included in it?
Well, I think that one of the most important things of the program is the construction of the new facility is going to house the new lab for the program. Which makes it nice because all the equipment is going to be brand new. Wow. Lincoln Electric, who's going to be our primary supplier of all the equipment, state-of-the-art lab, 36 booths. Students are going to understand the basics of welding, enabling them to get out into industry quickly and to understand the concepts of welding. They'll be touching MIG machines, TIG machines, acetylene torches, cutting and plasma cutters. They'll be going through the whole gamut of welding processes in order for them to get out and to understand what they need to get a good paying job out in industry. And organizations are waiting for these folks. They're right now waiting in line for qualified individuals to fill the gap. Right now, analysis shows over 1,000 new positions that are going to be out there in the industry for welders just in Allegheny County.
Wow.
And with the oil and gas industry and the Marcellus Shale and the Utica Shale play going strong, I think that's going to grow.
Well, and Allegheny County is what, half the population of the 10 counties, and there's 4 million people in sort of all of Greater Pittsburgh in the multi-state area. So if there's just 1,000 in Allegheny County, we're talking potentially a need for thousands.
Need for thousands. You go to Washington County and some of the other counties where the gas industry is really, really booming. The need is significant. We were out at Emerson Electric the other day, talking to some of their folks, and they have quite a few computer drafting graduates working with them, but they told us they alone could take most of our welders
all your graduates.
That will graduate
so the reality is if they take the course, they get through it, and they can do it, and they're qualified, there's jobs for virtually everybody who could graduate from something like this.
There's jobs, and as a young person or as any person looking to enter a career, what you really want is you want more jobs than there are qualified people for those jobs. Mm-hmm. That gives you a tremendous opportunity to go into any industry you want to go into, and helps drive the salaries up.
Yeah, well, we've got a minute left, but there's going to be more going on in the new building than just the welding program, right?
Sure. We're going to have a new program in oil and gas electronics. That's one of the reasons we were out with Emerson the other day. and that's a program that Jeff has worked a lot on, can probably tell you more details about what we're doing in the oil and gas industry.
Yeah, that concentration is going to fall under our electronics engineering program, and it's an oil and gas specific program. Students are going to be looking at specific equipment, a lot of it Emerson equipment, but that new lab is going to be set up with lab volt training systems. They'll be learning control system electronics. We'll have a simulated well site outside of the actual building where students will understand the communications of those well sites and the operation. Simulated gas flows going into the system where they'll be understanding the electronics and the equipment that's involved in the oil and gas industry. So it is specific for the oil and gas industry, and that was developed particularly by a group of industry experts that we met with in South Point. And those industry experts came from the organizations in South Point, and they helped us to develop that program so that those graduates would fit the need of the industry.
It sounds really critical in all of this. I've only got a few seconds, but this whole idea of really working hard with industry to try to understand their needs and make sure your graduates really can deliver.
It's what we do. We've been doing it for nearly 70 years, and Jeff, myself, and every individual in the organization are tied to industry. We prepare students to work really in this region. We don't worry about Chicago, we worry about Western Pennsylvania, and that's what we do.
Well, congratulations, it's exciting. PTI, a lot of great things happening out there, and we'll have you back sometime to see how it all goes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
And when we return, how much money are people making this year? We'll meet an expert whose pulse is on compensation planning. Stay with us.